Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadidamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Lately, I've been thinking about the idea of being stuck. Not because I think being stuck is a problem, but I actually think being stuck can be one of the most interesting places we find ourselves. Most people don't like it. They want movement. They want answers. They want certainty. They want to know what's next in my life. But over the years in my own life and working with students, I've come to understand that feeling stuck has a purpose. It's an indicator. It's a signal. It's actually our life showing us that something is ready to change. So today I'd like to share some insights about being stuck in life, why I don't think it's something to fear or push against, and how these periods can actually become powerful turning points. Namaste and welcome to the Spiritual Wealth Podcast. I'm your host, Alexandra Savitri Amba, Director of the American Reiki Academy and the Vedic Healing Center. I'm a Reiki Master, Vedic Healing Master and Priestess, and spiritual guide who has practiced and taught spiritual self-development and healing for more than 35 years, led pilgrimages to India, and studied with blessed Indian gurus. In this show, we cover topics related to metaphysics, Reiki, Vedic healing, yoga, manifestation, spiritual growth, and feng shui based upon my studies and work in these disciplines. The aim of this show is to help you awaken, develop, and tap into your spiritual power in order that you may live well, manifest your dreams, and ultimately fulfill your unique divine destiny. So welcome to today's episode, which is on the topic of being stuck and feeling stuck. So many times when I am working with people, they say to me when I ask maybe why they're coming for healing, or maybe we're doing a soul pattern clearing, or we're doing spiritual coaching, I ask them what's going on, and they just say, I feel stuck. And of course, we get into that more. We get into what that means, but often they take it as something must be wrong, that they're failing, or they've taken a wrong direction in life, and they're behind, they're mixed up, messed up, there is something that is not flowing. But I start to now view feeling stuck as actually giving us an opportunity to pause and not even to course correct, but to use that feeling as an indication. It's actually a place between where we are and what is becoming, what we are manifesting. So I think even when I look back on my own life, every major shift was preceded by a period in which I felt uncertain, and probably I would have used that word also. I feel stuck. That meant I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what was next. And sometimes it probably felt also as if nothing was happening, as if everything was stalled. But later on in looking back, I can see that everything was happening for a reason and that there were things happening below or underneath that feeling that were important. Usually, it's an indication that an old part of you is dissolving. Old patterns are kind of letting go in your life. And an old way of being is just no longer fitting you. It's like when you have a pair of pants or a sweater that's too small and you say, this, we don't usually use the word stuck with, although sometimes we get stuck trying to pull on our jeans, but we might say, this no longer fits me. This clothing doesn't fit me. It doesn't feel comfortable. But in our own lives, when it's an issue, why do we automatically say we feel stuck? That's sort of like a judgment. Instead of just saying, this feels not right anymore somehow. So the idea that you are stuck is actually such an interesting place to be in because it gives you a contrast. Okay, let's think about this. It gives you a contrast between feeling good and not. It's like an indicator for you. You know something doesn't feel good, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And so you say, I feel stuck. But what's really happening is you are standing in a doorway and you haven't yet stepped through it. You might have one step in like one foot in the past and one in the future. And you know you're supposed to move forward, but you're standing at the doorway, not able to move. So you say, I feel stuck. And because we're at that point in between realities or in between worlds, we feel uncomfortable. So you've got that old sweater. It's too small for you. You know it's too small. It has holes in it. It doesn't even look good anymore, but you haven't quite found the new one yet. Maybe it's on the rack and let's say you're trying on other ones and nothing quite fits you yet or looks good. So you're still hanging on to the old one and the new one is there also, but it hasn't presented itself to you yet. You're trying on varieties. And so you know you need to let go of that old sweater, but you haven't quite found the perfect new one. And you say, I'm stuck. Well, we don't usually use that term with clothing again, but that's the analogy I'm thinking of. So it really means there's something you have outgrown, something that wants to change. It wants to shift. It wants to be released from your energy field, from your life, from your being. It could be a belief. It could be an old version of you. It could be a relationship, like when you feel something is outdated, is not suiting you anymore, is not a vibrational match anymore. I've said this before, that when you manifest something, you are a magnet for that thing. And you have this magnetic pull, and you come together with that other experience or relationship or whatever it is, circumstance, opportunity. And when all the pieces fit together, those two magnets stick together. But when one of them shifts, then the other one either has the opportunity to shift alongside the first one and come together at a higher level, or the magnetic pull is just not going to be there. So it's always a choice. You always have a choice. So instead of asking yourself about stuckness, like, why am I stuck? Why not say, what is this? What is this telling me? Take it as a message from the universe, really, and let go of resistance. Instead, begin listening. Why do I feel uncomfortable every time I talk to that friend on the phone? What is this telling me? What I feel stuck because I know this friendship has been here for a long time, and it has served me on some level, and it has served the other person, but it's no longer a vibrational match, and yet I can't shift out of it, so I feel stuck. Or maybe you are in a void where there is no relationship, there is no dream, there's nothing that you can see, and you say, I feel stuck. I feel stuck. There's nothing here. It's empty. So when you stop resisting this space, you start opening up to being able to create and draw into your space that next opportunity. That sweater is waiting for you, that beautiful new sweater, or that experience on the other side of the doorway as you step through. So as you encounter that feeling of being stuck, just be with it. I remember once my Reiki master said to me something, I don't remember what it was, but something, I do remember what it was. It was a death, actually, happened to me in my life, and I was so sad. And it was actually a series of deaths. It was 3 deaths in a row. And I couldn't shift out of the grief. And I said something to her like, I'm trying all the techniques I usually do to pull my energy out of this space, and nothing's working. And she said to me, she said, that feeling you're having is appropriate. You do not always have to clear every uncomfortable feeling. So being stuck, because this makes sense, of course, you're experiencing grief at the loss of someone. And in my case, it was three individuals in a row whom I was very close to. So this feeling of being stuck is not something we automatically want to see as a problem. We don't automatically need to say, I need to clear this. Oh no, I'm feeling stuck. Instead, sitting with it and being okay. See, one of the beautiful results of our spiritual practice means that we accept everything and we remain unattached to the ebb and flow of life, to the ebb and flow of our feelings, to the ebb and flow of our thoughts. And when we can stand with that ebb and flow, we start to become the witness, and we actually gain power because we may even laugh about it. We may say, oh, I've been here before. I know this feeling, and I know it's not very comfortable, but I also know I am going to shift. Because why? Because the nature of our experience here is to keep transforming, to keep dancing, to keep moving with all of life. This is one of the teachings of Nataraj, of Lord Shiva in his form when he dances, is that life is going to move no matter what. So we cannot get stuck in one space, in one relationship, in one, we want to hold on to things. We want to, let's say things are going really, really well, and we say, oh, I never want this to change. One thing is sure, change is going to occur. So as practitioners, we know not to become attached to anything, good, bad, or in between. So that stuckness is the in between feeling, and just being the witness, just saying, oh, here I am. I'm in between the porch and the living room. My one foot is through the doorway and the other foot is on the porch. And I'm somehow straddling the doorway, and it doesn't feel comfortable. But I know in any moment I could either go backwards or I could go forward. But being in the middle is not an option for remaining there. We're not going to remain in that sense of being stuck. We know that. And we're probably not going to revisit the past. We are going to propel ourselves into the future. And the only way to do that is to accept the present. So we are there straddling the doorway. In that, let's say we're holding a bunch of groceries and we say, oh, I'm kind of stuck here and it doesn't feel comfortable. I can't get through the front door because I'm holding all these groceries and nobody is here to help me. But one thing is certain, you will get through the front door. Either somebody will come to help you, or you will somehow get through, or you will toss the groceries down, or you will just somehow move. You have to. This is the dance of life. This is the dance of Nataraj. So we cannot be in resistance. Therefore, anytime you find yourself in a situation and you say, I feel stuck. Oh no. You start to panic and you say, how do I get out of this? Instead, start saying, what is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to help me understand in my life? What is trying to emerge? Let's go back to the grocery analogy. It's a very simple, kind of silly analogy I just thought of. So let's say you're standing there and you say, I'm stuck with these groceries. You could either go really into that feeling and, oh, how horrible it is that nobody's there to help you, and this has happened before, and here you are again in the same situation. Or you could say, what is this teaching me? Is it teaching me not to carry all these groceries from my car at once because I really can't handle them? I know that I'm going to get stuck at the doorway. Or is it teaching me to ask for help, or to call my husband or my wife who's in the house and say ahead of time and say, oh, I'm coming with the groceries. Could you please help me? Or is it teaching you not to buy so many things at once? I mean, what is it teaching you? What is that being stuckness teaching you? That being stuck teaching you? So these are all funny kind of analogies, but I hope powerful questions, because your energy is going to follow your awareness. And as soon as you bring awareness to the situation, movement starts to occur. So now I'm aware that I can't carry all those darn groceries at once in all those bags that I think I can handle. And instead, I'm going to choose something different for the next time. Now, the change doesn't happen immediately, but something starts to shift. And I think also what's interesting is creativity is connected to this process. So sometimes when we're feeling stuck, we get a new idea, a new possibility, a new solution. So there's a reason you have repeated this pattern over and over, maybe with the groceries, and now you're fed up and you're saying, I'm not going to get to this point anymore. I'm going to think of a different way to get those groceries through the front door. Again, either asking for help, not buying so much, or making more trips. But basically, when you're feeling stuck, it's an opportunity to allow in new possibilities. Maybe you say to yourself, oh, I'm going to try a different form of body work. Oh, maybe I'm not attending to my self-care. What is this stuckness trying to teach me? And we're always trying to learn the lessons. Where is the lesson in this? So if you're feeling stuck in some area of your life right now, I'd like to suggest that you stop fighting the feeling, notice it, maybe laugh about it. Now, we can't always laugh about it. For instance, when I said that I was feeling grief, I certainly wasn't in a space to laugh about it, but I was in a space to notice it and sit with it, become really curious about it, and spend some moments asking yourself what needs to emerge out of this, what wants to change in my life, and then listen for answers. And then maybe move some energy, physically move some energy. This is really important. If you feel stuck, let's say I help people with, it's called space energetics, and it has to do with uh, uh, working with feng shui and energy in their home. And so sometimes they say, I'm so stuck. I know an area of my home is blocked. And one of the things you can do is to physically move something, not attack the whole area, but just move one thing. So if you are feeling stuck in an area of your life, move your body, take a walk, go outside. Energy shifting likes movement. So when you start going into a spiral over, this is like mental overload, why I'm stuck, how I got here, oh, this is an old pattern, but you're not doing anything to shift it, you're going to stay stuck. Instead, start thinking, how can I embrace this feeling where I may have been before and maybe try something new in order to move me out, move me into the living room, over the doorway, and into the new experience that I want to call in. So being stuck is never a punishment. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong with your life or you've, messed everything up. It's an indication that you're in between, And it's a sign that you're maybe standing at the next chapter of your life. And this is really beautiful. It means that something is preparing to blossom really in your life. And maybe the last thing I'll say about this is when you're feeling stuck, definitely movement will shift things. Also doing something different, completely different, where your mind withdraws from that thing you're obsessing over that you think you haven't done correctly and therefore you're stuck in this area. So do something completely different to shake things up. And then the very last thing I will say is to ask for help. Somebody you trust, somebody you regard as maybe a spiritual counselor or someone who seems like they have a bit of wisdom to offer you. I would always use my Reiki master, lovingly use her guidance for these kinds of situations. And it was a blessing to have her in my life, a great, great blessing that will never go away from me. This is the value also of having a guru. Guru means one who leads me from darkness to light. So we seek the guru for his or her wisdom and guidance and advice, and mostly for their energy. Their energy, just being in the present, transforms us. If you've enjoyed this episode, feel free to reach out via the show notes and join the email community where I share insights and wisdom about spirituality. And also I offer information about classes, events, gatherings, and workshops in Los Angeles and pilgrimages to India. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.